Welcome to Kids Camp and Critters and Creation. You know, I love everything about God's creation. Being able to go out and hike in it or maybe walk in it, smelling the fresh air. It's so good to be part of God's creation. And all of our animals and critters that we share with you come from Camp Kalakwa. I'm Keith Nelson, your host at Critters and Creation. And today we have a really special treat for you. So you are going to be very blessed. Everybody loves animals, that's true. And even if you love animals, you have a favorite, don't you? How many of you have a favorite animal? Let's see if we can get Josiah's favorite animal. You like puppies? Do you have a puppy, Josiah? No. Well, there's a note. There's something for later. A puppy is a very cute animal and one that's really popular. Do you have a favorite over here?
A dolphin.
Wow, now that would be hard to keep in your living room, but you should give that a try. Get a dolphin and see how that works out for you. But dolphins are beautiful creatures, aren't they? And let's see, what about Ezra? Do you have a favorite?
A snake.
I like snakes too. Well, of all the animals that I brought with me, we'll take more questions in a little bit. Thank you. One of my favorite is this time, is the one that we're going to show you today, and his name is Sylvester. Shall we see if we can find a Sylvester around here? So Sylvester is our ambassador to the world of the North American skunk. So this skunk, boys and girls, won't hurt you at all because he has had his scent gland surgically removed. He cannot spray you, okay? You don't need to be afraid of that. Also, he has never bothered with biting anything or bothering anyone. He's a very friendly guy. Why, he even goes and uses a litter box like a cat. Isn't that funny? And so Sylvester here is very used to people. He's probably not used to too many bright lights, but he's going to do just fine. Sylvester happens to be a striped North American skunk, but there are other kinds. There are spotted skunks and chocolate-colored skunks and lavender skunks and white ones and black ones and hooded ones. And you know, if you haven't seen too many skunks, it might be because they're usually up past your bedtime. So they're most active between midnight and sunrise. That is way past your bedtime, isn't it? But if you happen to be up during that time and you happen to see one, why, you can just walk with him in the woods in nature. He will not spray you. They do not generally spray people unless you threaten them or you're about to hurt them or you scare them or they have young. And the truth is, these guys are pretty chill. They will spray only when real danger is facing them. So, when the mother has babies, she will take those babies right up to danger, like maybe a fox or a coyote, and she will show her young how to fend off the enemy. And she'll go lift her tail and spray. She can spray 25 feet pretty accurately, and if she does, that spray is burning foul smell, and it's so irritating that it can cause temporary blindness in its would-be predator. And it can actually stink so bad that your mom or dad might make you stay on the porch for a week or more. And you might have to, you know, bury or burn the clothes they sprayed because you'll never get it out in the washing machine. Jesus made some real cool defense for the skunk. Yes.
Has it been cleaned?
Oh, yes. This one is real good. Do you have a cat at home? No? How many of you have cats at home? Do you have to give your cat very many baths? No. Do cats give themselves baths? Yes. Right, and so do skunks. Skunks know how to keep themselves clean, but that was a very good question. So we don't have to do too much but clip nails and clean a little bit. This skunk, yes, Mr. Jackson.
Can I hold him?
Well, we're not going to let all of you hold him, but we will let you pet him in a little bit. Is that a deal? Yeah. All right. Hey, Esmond. Yeah, we're going to let you pet him. Now, this skunk is going to be something to pet because he's kind of got a lot of fur, and you've maybe never pet a skunk before in your life. So we're going to find out from, let's see, when I get to Hadassah, we're going to find out from you what it feels like. So you be ready to describe it, okay? Do you want to pet him? Don't pet him on the head, just on the back. And when you do, you have to say, he's so fluffy, right? That's right. And
He's so fluffy.
he is fluffy. Caden, did you want to pet him? Go ahead.
He's cuddly.
He is cuddly. Here you go, Miss Leah. So the skunk and the skunk family have a natural smell. Even when you remove their scent gland, they still have a little smell. And we're going to ask somebody about that. Hey, Sophia, you want a pet too? There you go. Oh, all right, Hadassah, here we go. You ready? What's that feel like?
Really, really soft and fluffy.
Like deep soft, right? Okay, Allie wants to pet too, right? So this is a boy skunk, and his name's Sylvester, and he's 2 years old. Okay, David, I understand. Oh, you do want a pet?
I was just trying to.
Okay, sure. Now, over on this side, I have a different question for you. Let's see. Is this Angie? Angel? Angel, can you smell anything at all?
No.
No? How about any of you? Mackenzie or Madison, do you smell anything?
No.
It smells a little bit musty. But did you want a pet right here? You can pet him. Yeah. Come on up. Okay. So, yes, Cadence has a question over here. Shh.
How long have you had the skunk?
2 years. We had it since nearly a baby. Yes, Faith.
How long can they live?
So skunks can live 15 to 20 years, and they are generally calm. They have big claws. Let's see if you can see them. Yes, Allie?
What do you feed them?
So skunks are omnivores. That means they'll eat fruit, vegetables, greens, and some meat and bugs, maybe even little rodents and mice. Yes, Josiah had a question?
What do they like to eat?
Yes. So they dig for beetle grubs. A beetle grub is an immature beetle. You see these big claws? Those claws, God designed them to dig apart logs or dig in the dirt early in the morning. Yes, Kylie?
How long or how short do you have to cut them to
Their nails? Yeah, just right where they are. You don't want too long because then they'll scratch you. Sophia has a question.
Who are their enemies?
Great question. Sophia wants to know who their enemy is. Really, there's 3 enemies. One of them is the car. They don't do too well on the road. The other is dogs. And the dog family, they don't like them. But they don't usually get hurt by them. The biggest enemy is the barred owl. Do you know why the owl will actually hunt a skunk? Because the owl can't smell very well. And the skunk might even spray, and the owl will say, I don't care. I didn't smell anything. Just like you 3 girls didn't smell the skunk up here. Yes, Madison has a question.
How big can they get?
This is about as big as they get. I've seen some bigger skunks, but not too much bigger. Yes, Jackson has a question.
Can you put him on the table so we can see how tall he is?
Well, sometimes he will just jump right off a table, but we'll give it a shot for you here, Jackson, and see how he does. And then I believe we'll take one question from Caden.
What are his natural skills?
Natural skills. Let's talk about that. Can I talk about that for a minute? And we'll hold the questions. So God gave the skunk some more abilities beyond just spray. Everybody knows the skunks can spray. But guess what? God didn't stop there. It's like he gave the skunk lots of help. Did you know the skunk is immune to rattlesnake venom? So even if a rattlesnake was to bite Sylvester, he might not enjoy the bite, and the bite might hurt, but it won't kill him. And so he has been given protein in his blood that reverses the venom of a rattlesnake. I saw a skunk and a rattlesnake living together in the base of a tree at Camp Kalakwa, and they were as happy as can be. And that's not all. Bees cannot sting skunks. And so if they raid the bee's nest for bees or honey, they can't sting them. He would get a free meal. That's right. And you know what? That's a lot of protection God gave the skunk, isn't it? So let me just take another question or two real quick from Cadence and then from you.
Did somebody give you the skunk, or did you just find it out in the wild?
Yeah, most of our animals at Camp Kalakwa are donated. You're very correct. Yes, Mr. Lionel.
What's it called? You know the predators who eat the skunk? What is they called? This
Skunk? Yeah, the owl. The owl's the only predator. Okay, let's hold questions
what
now.
is there like?
Hold on. So the truth of the matter is this. The skunk has a lot of weapons, doesn't he? God made sure nothing really bothered Mr. Skunk or Mrs. Skunk or the tiny little baby skunks. How much more do you think God loves you? Right. So here's a neat story to remind you of that. There was a story where someone got in a bunch of problems in one day. In one day, poor Paul went through a shipwreck and had to swim through choppy, stormy seas to the beach. Then he got cold, and he went by the fire to get warm, and he got bit by a venomous snake. Just like a skunk might have a really bad day, and Jesus made a way for him to be fine. Do you think Jesus took care of Paul too?
Yes.
Do you think the venomous snake killed Paul? No. So because Jesus had a purpose for Paul, not a snake, not a shipwreck, and not even a big stormy sea could stop him. And the same goes for each of you. God has a purpose for you, and nothing is going to get in the way of that, especially if we ask God to be part of our lives and stay close to us. And if we, like Paul, are doing what God wants us to do, and we want to do what the Father in heaven wants and asks of us to do, which is be an encouragement to each other. Smile and be kind. And by the way, God says, I have a plan for you. Plans for you to succeed and be very strong and healthy and live long with abundant life. And in order to do that, He has given you some weapons. Let's think about that for a minute. Jesus says in His Bible, do not be afraid, in His word to us. And so when the skunk gets afraid, he can spray. When you get afraid, you can pray. Did you see that? That's the ultimate weapon right there, isn't it? Is to fold your hands, bow your head and pray. So the skunk can spray, you can pray. Which do you think is more powerful? You have an even more powerful weapon than the skunk. That's right. And Hadassah has one last quick question.
Do they climb trees?
No, the American skunk doesn't climb trees. He's a digger. So I want to say thank you, boys and girls, for coming to Kids Camp and Critters and Creation today. We hope you have a blessed time.